All right, hey, it's Rob, and I am out in Elberton County, Georgia. Way out here, there's cows across the road. I'm here today to check out the biggest mystery in Georgia, the Georgia Guidestones. And the Georgia Guidestones are these giant granite slabs that have instructions on how to rebuild society after the apocalypse. And I figure what better time than now with all the stuff going on in the world. Yoko Ono called these things a stirring call to rational thought. But of course she thought she could, sleep in a couple mornings and solve world peace. So who knows? Anyway, so we're going to check out these giant granite slabs, about 250,000 pounds of granite with these cryptic messages on them. They're just down the road, and see what this is all about. Hey, cows. What's going on down the road? What are those things? Should we find out together? All right, come on. Let's go. All right, got the Guidestones all to myself today. They were installed in 1980 during the height of the nuclear war, paranoia, the Reagan era, all those fun times that we went through. Not unlike what's happening now. But anyway, mysterious figure, like I said, commissioned them. They gave him a quote that was about 10 times too high because they didn't want to do it. But he agreed. And so here are the Georgia Guidestones just sitting out there. Like I said, 250,000 pounds of granite, and different messages in different languages, and it lines up astronomically with the stars. And let's just check them out and see what's going on with these things. So the Georgia Guidestones have been controversial ever since they put them up. As a matter of fact, the city leaders said they should be torn down and turned into rubble at one point. But there's really no evidence one way or the other who was behind this, and many people say they're satanic in origin, or there's a group called the Rosicrucians behind it, the New World Order, who knows. In any event, they've been vandalized. There's been a lot of graffiti, which is why there's a big camera pointed at them. Really, if you read them, and I've got a guy who's going to do that for you in a second, they're all just kind of common sense stuff, protecting the environment and limiting the amount of people on the planet. All these are good things, of course, very hard to enforce, but there's nothing particularly controversial, although it is funny they say there should be one world language, but it's written in like 8 different languages on the stones. In any event, I ran into this guy, Fred, who was from Canada, and he had his own kind of take on what the stones meant, and he had a really cute dog. I was excited about that. So turns out we're going to let Fred take over here in a second and let you know what he thinks about the controversial Georgia Guidestones. It's a lovely day. I was happy to come out and check them out, but once you've seen it, I don't know, maybe they'll mean something to you. It's just an oddity for me, and I was glad I got to take a look. But let's hear from Fred now.
Okay. Are we on now?
We're on.
Well, my name's Fred.
Hey, Fred. How are you? I'm Rob.
I'm my friend Rob here. We're from Canada. We just spent 6 months in Florida.
Nice.
And we're on our way back. And I thought, well, I wanted to see these for the last few years when I found out about them. And if you look at them, it's very interesting. There's like 10 commandments. Now, what does that remind you of?
I know.
Right? Old Testament, God's Word.
A lot of mystery behind these.
Oh, not that much when you really think about it. This is a philosophy for how to run the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about keeping people, humanity under 500 million people. Hello? How are we going to get there?
Who gets to pick, though?
How are we going to get there? Right. So either you say, well, it's going to be a natural disaster, nuclear disaster. This is the Guidestones to guide humanity in the future. Or, let's all work together to attain these goals. And,
right. Now, these were put in 1980 when there was a lot of paranoia about nuclear war. Where do you think we are now? Are we in a better place or a worse place?
No, I think there are people working to attain these things. And if you keep going down, you have to guide reproduction. I mean, tell people how many babies, no babies, eliminate babies, and all these things. one unity in language. This goes completely against what God has done at the Tower of Babel, where he split up humanity in all these languages. So this is working against, and again, God said in the beginning, fill the earth with people. And this is says, no, maintain people.
Yeah, this guy's trying to get rid of them.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it just keeps on going. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all these things with tempered reason. How is reason doing us so much good right now, and so on? Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. You cannot have fair laws and just courts without referring to an absolute, which is God, and God is just. I'm a believer, obviously. I just gave myself away here, right? Let all nation rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Again, transfer all authority from nations to global entities. What do we have now? World Economic Forum, global health. We have the WHO, World Health Organization, world this, world that. So people are working diligently towards these goals. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. We still come back to the other problem of how do you establish what is just. Balance personal rights with social duties. So no more individuality. Let's live for the community, which is another kind of philosophy that's at work. Prize truth. I love that one because everything seems to be turned upside down right now. And do not be a cancer on the earth. Humanity is a cancer on the earth. You know, this is a philosophy that exists right now, and we should be aware of what's happening. I encourage everybody to educate themselves and find out, you know, what's going on in the world. And these things, very strange, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
People come here, and this is a philosophy of life, and we're seeing it. This is my reading and my opinion. We're seeing these things put in place. And again, if I may, a last little comment, Rob.
Go for it.
As I'm a believer, I believe that Jesus is coming back, and he's going to establish the real one kingdom in the world. Every other attempt is going to be a disaster. So thank you, Rob, for your time.
All right.
Talking to you.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.
We'll see you on YouTube.
All right. Sounds good.